Hey guys. I'm just gonna wait a few moments to see if anyone wants to join live. And also, gonna be bringing on Hina, my creative partner in play, to talk about what we are creating. Oh, there she is. Okay, let me add her. Oh, Bob! Sama! Yay! Hey guys! There she is.
Working.
Yay! Our first live together.
Yay. Hi, Marin. Sama. Sama, I love how you're just automatically always there. It's the best.
So we just decided to go live just a minute ago and kind of share, yeah, like what we've been up to, like what kind of fun creations we've been up to. We just got off of our creation process live call with everyone, and what keeps coming up is to start to create, like create from this place of like just having fun and playing without needing to fix or change myself or fix or change the world. Like we don't need to act from the sense of that something is lacking.
Yeah, so it's like when we can tune in to what we actually want, not what we think we need to feel safe or to be okay, but what we actually just want to have in our lives because it's fun, then creation from that space is really fun and it's really easy and oh my God, it's so easy and it's for the benefit of all. Like that intention that you're holding for it to just be fun and just to be good in whatever way that's exciting to you is what kind of brings other people into that and they get inspired to do the same in their lives and it's like this massive ripple effect that we don't even notice happens, but it is that powerful. So me and Callie have been just like having so much fun, spending most of our time just bouncing ideas back and forth because we're noticing so many people are in this space where they don't want to do things the way they've been taught to do things, growing up. It's like you need to get a 9 to 5 job and it doesn't matter if you don't like it. You need money, you have to pay the mortgage because you have to save up all this stuff um and just like ugh, like heaviness. And okay, yes, we can still like make a lot of money and like have savings and you know whatever we want to do, but it's like coming from a different perspective and a different attitude about it and a different feeling. So it doesn't have to be a burden or responsibility. It can just be fun and like expansive and like just joyful and easy. It doesn't have to be hard. Like what we've been learning, like it has to be like our whole lives. Like that, I feel like everyone's kind of ready to drop that
Mm.
and ready to start, you know, having success in our lives from a different space that's just easy and so it's like maintainable and it's we don't have to get burnt out from it and we don't have to go on vacations to get away from our lives to take a break. It's like we travel because we want to, not because we feel like we need a break from something. So the goal is to make the vacation our entire life yet get like a lot of stuff done and be really successful and create the lives that we want, but without the stress and without the overwhelm. And even that idea feels so like impossible to so many people. And so I feel like that's why we're even speaking to it because it is so possible. It's so possible. And we are here to kind of share on how to start doing that, like how to start changing your life to it becoming something that you're so in love with while still making money if that's what you want, or while still like having an empire or like this massive business or whatever, or an online business, or just residual income, or maybe it's like creating startups, or maybe it's creating a community, or whatever it is that you want in your heart of hearts that you never thought was possible for you, or that you were too scared to ask yourself or to ask life for because you thought it couldn't happen that way. We want to start bringing those out that stuff out and start to like show people that it is really possible for those things to happen in those ways or even better. Um, yeah, so that's what we feel excited about sharing with everyone. So we're like, oh, we'll just go on a Facebook Live and just start talking about it, like just talking about it.
Yeah, and it's like, not even really realizing. I mean, even for me, it was like, I'm really aware, but I wasn't really aware of how much I was on this constant autopilot of stress and anxiety. And, I was creating beautiful things in my life, but the undercurrent was the stress and anxiety. So that was what it was
Mm.
perpetuating. And it's really beautiful to like really step in and own that I can create from the space of lightness and fun and ease, and from the spaciousness of like I don't need to do it. Like I don't
Mm.
need to do it. And I think that's the thing that gets like people caught a lot is like they feel that like they have to create to pay the bills, or they have to work because that's like just what we've been conditioned to do. And like, what was the quote you found? Like, work hard, play hard. We're like, fuck that. Like, we need to like spin that
Play
around.
hard, work hard.
Yeah, play hard, and then just creation happens. Like,
Yeah.
nothing to
Yeah.
do.
And like showing people that, so we do have all those responsibilities, like maybe you have a family that you have to provide for, or you do have bills, but it's like when you follow your just highest excitement and your joy and your fun, like you just have access to so much creativity
Mm,
and so much like support from life, to get all the things that you need to support your family and to make the money. And it's just, it comes so much easier to you because life is just wanting to support you in your highest explorations, and your highest creations. And so it's like when you say yes to doing that for yourself, life says yes to you to help you, take care of the things that you need to take care of so that you can keep creating from your highest joy. Um,
and then that's the
yeah.
energy you're bringing into your family and back home. It's like even here, like I'm back in LA and I'm staying with my brother. And because like we're creating from just this fun space, like it's catching on to him, and now he's like really starting to create and play and have more fun. So it's just contagious. Like, and it's not in the sense of like before it was like, oh, I gotta get up and, market myself and make these posts or create these projects. And it's like I wake up and it's just like right away I'm like messaging Hannah like, oh, what about this? What about this? And we're just like having so much fun, like bouncing off ideas, not because we have to, but because there's just like this playful desire that wants to be expressed. And it's so much more enlivening. And like, when you start to share that with others as well, like you can bounce off of each other. Like there's just so many beautiful interconnections, and then the right people are brought to you and you start emanating a new frequency. You start emanating just like this peace and joy. And even remember, like we went to Cafe Gratitude. We went to Cafe Gratitude, and like we were in the space of creation earlier that day, and we met up at Cafe Gratitude, and I walked in, and like there's this really cute guy like at the front desk, and like he was like, ooh, what is your energy? Like, I love your energy. And I was like, do you want a hug? He's like, oh, please. And he almost like started crying. He just wanted a hug, like, and I was like, like it like ripples out into everything, and then that like amped me up, and then like went into lunch with Henna. We just had so much fun from there. It's just like people feel it, and it's like, what else is there to do? Like, this is what we're here to do. Just to play
Yeah.
and express.
Yeah, and it's like helping people realize there is a such thing as a win-win situation.
Yeah.
Like there is a space where everyone can get everything and have everything and share everything, and like you're gonna get whatever you want to create and I'm gonna create whatever I want to create, and there's a way for us all to be supported in everything that we all want. Like there are win-win situations, and it's like, well, like how can we just shift our mindset to start to create from a space where we know that's possible and start to like bring that into real life. It's like not just ideas anymore. It's like let's ground that into like your actual reality and change your life to be the life you've always wanted and not just in your imagination. It's like not just some like far away airy fairy dream anymore. It's like that's what me and Callie are really, I think, inspired to get really deep into with people. It's like let's make that happen for you like now,
Yeah.
like right now. and what can we do to get you in the first like mental emotional space to realize that's possible for you. And then from there, like it's almost like teaching people how to actually just like be stress free and have fun, and
Mm-hmm.
like sharing with them how powerful that can be when you consciously know how to like be in that space for creation,
Yeah, and
for in your
24/7 too. Like Lawrence, like I love what you're sharing. You know, you go to, and this is what I saw like a lot in the spiritual community, even in my life and patterns. It was like, you know, I'd go to these retreats and I'd feel really high, and I'm like, yes, I'm gonna change the world, and I'm
mm,
gonna create, I'm gonna do it. And you're around all these like-minded people, and you're like just so inspired. And then what happens? You go home, and then it's like back into the routine of like what you were doing before. And it's like, you know, and this what we want to bring out and what we're starting to share is like it's really about owning this frequency 24/7, you know. So it doesn't matter, like you don't need to go to the retreat then, like you can if you want to play, but it's not like you need it to up your frequency. Like you can do this in every single moment. And it's really like
mm,
in the beginning, it can kind of feel like a practice because the mind, like at least if you have anything like my mind, like it focuses on the negativity and it focuses on the, like I went through depression for a long time and stress and overwhelm and anxiety. And like I had to really focus my mind on, you know, choosing that frequency and really starting to see that I was creating all of that and I was choosing to be depressed. There was something that I was getting out of it. I would say I wanted to be happy, but the truth was is that I wanted to be stressed and I wanted to be anxious and I wanted to be depressed. Even though like if you would have told me at that time, I would have punched you in the face. Like no way would I choose that. But we're creating everything, and we got to start taking
mm.
responsibility. We got to start taking ownership, that we are creating everything.
Yeah, and so it's like getting really honest with ourselves with what are we choosing right now, and what do we want to learn how to choose that feels better for ourselves and for everyone else. And um, it's a practice, like you're saying, it's a practice because we're so used to autopilot.
Mm.
And it's like let's start to get really real about what our mind is saying, and start to notice that first, and start to like separate ourselves from that first. And when we separate ourselves, and we can, you know, we have this like power then to choose what our mind holds. And so it's like changing our whole way of creating the lives that we want, just by being in more flow and like more fun and less effort. And it's like it's a practice, you know, we just have to practice this. And so it's, but it starts with getting mindful about what we're holding right now.
Mm.
And like I love what you said about, like, yeah, we go to these retreats and it's beautiful and we soak up all that goodness and we're just like, we feel so great. But then we go home and it's like, okay, well, the same people are around us and it's like the same job and the same boss. And we get caught up in that again. So it's like really wanting to share with people how to transform from the inside out so that you don't get swept away with the autopilot anymore. And you really can hold, you know, strong in yourself and learn how to change your entire life just from changing what you're holding inside yourself. And it doesn't have to be hard, or like an uphill battle to like have a better life. It's like just starts with just actually just letting it go and having fun, you know? Um, Hi, Suma. Friends, Xavier. So we just felt inspired to start talking about this. Like we started this weekly Zoom like online gatherings, like just free. And it's like we just finished our second week of that. So if anyone's interested, I guess we can post the link to that group below.
Yeah.
But just like holding a space for people to start to actually dream and like allow themselves to um, kind of like own what they've always wanted in their lives, but they're almost too scared to admit that they want it, or too scared to think that that could actually be a reality for them. And it's like just starting there. It's like getting really honest with what is it that you want. And then it's like a process of believing you can have that, and then just having fun. And it's like, it just happens. It literally just happens. And so like we've been putting together even like a little process for everyone. Like how can we make this so simple for people to start to catch on to, and start to like empower themselves with. Um, yeah, it just feels like that's what is a lot of people are wanting. And so it's like, okay, well, we have like an understanding of that or experience in that, then we can just share it with people. And we are even playing around with like offering a program around it. It's like, we have like free Zoom calls and like free Facebook groups. So like, please join that if you're at all interested in learning how to create with fun instead of stress. Um, but even us just like playing around with a simple idea, like in a week's time, like what did we do? We like so much fun. We created our Zoom calls, we created our Facebook group, we got our first like clients in person. We're like creating all these like resources for you guys. And like looking back, it's like we didn't do any of it, you know? It's like we have our our YouTube channel going, we have our landing page, like all this stuff, we figuring out who we want to like support and like targeting our niche and all this stuff. And we literally were like, where did that even come from? Because we didn't do anything. Like we were just basically like goofing off on WhatsApp for like a little bit every day. And that all just so much action came from that. So it's like learning how to take action from a space of lightness and fun where you almost like don't even feel like you're doing anything, and you look back and you're like, how the hell did that all happen? Because like I feel like I didn't even do anything, but like so much got done. Like it's like grounding those dreams into reality. So it grounds in. It's like actually happening. Like I'm taking action steps today to get my dream to come true tomorrow, but yet I'm not actually doing anything because it feels like it's just play. So it's possible. And it sounds, I guess, kind of vague, I guess, when we talk about it, but it's like just introducing the concept of that to people. And yeah, it's like it's time for all of us to be happy. Like we get to just be happy and play and have everything that we want. Like no more, no more. Everyone's so sick of like the hard way of doing it. Like it's bullshit. So just dumping that out and teaching people a better way,
Yeah, and
a
it's
funner
like,
way
and being
of
able
it.
to support people wherever you are. So whether you're like, I have no idea what I want to create, no idea what I want to do, like supporting you to get clear, what is it that you want? And like helping you to dream
Mhm.
big and to believe in yourself and to drop all these lack beliefs and limiting points of views to like actually get shit done and like start to create something, and just to see the magic that happens once you say yes to it and you start having fun and playing with it, it's just all going to happen. The mind doesn't, the mind wants to try to figure it all out, but it's like, it's just it's so easy and effortless, and we just say yes and we just do it for the pure joy of it. Like then it's not work at all. And then, for some people, it might be like you might have a vision, you might have an idea for a startup business or like what you want to be doing, but you're just not doing it. And so we work with those people as well. Like that's the clients that we have currently. They know exactly what they want to create, but it's like, okay, how do you align? How do you communicate? How do you start to do this in a whole new way that hasn't been done before, really? And then also helping businesses or corporations that have like a solidified platform or business, but they want to expand, or maybe they have a business, but
Mhm.
it's feeling heavy. It's feeling like dull and boring and like stressful to go to work every day, and they've lost the zest for what they want to create. And so it's helping to align to the bigger vision and a new way of working, like, to unwork. And actually more
Yeah.
productivity, more creativity, more flow, and like really expanding it. Like we as human beings, it's like, you can't just like get to a certain point and then we think we're going to get there and then be happy. It's like we got to keep expanding and keep growing and keep, tapping into that creativity, to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And like, it's just like, how does it get better than this? How does it get better than this? How does it get better than this?
Yeah, and it's like learning how to tackle like the obstacles that come up along the way. It's like things are going to come up as you expand your vision and as you expand your business or whatever it is you wanted to create in your life. Like it's going to be rocky sometimes. Like stuff is going to come up or beliefs saying that you can't do this or maybe like action steps aren't falling into place the way you want them to. But it's like, let's get really practical about how we face these kinds of challenges that come up and and being able to move through them really quickly and really gracefully and still without losing our fun, because it's like we're prioritizing fun. Like fun comes first and everything comes from that. So it's like the whole concept of having to work at something or like just efforting, like there's no more efforting in it and you're just so much more productive and you're so much more um, successful, so much more successful in your life. And yeah, with all the tools of like, okay, how do you stay in that flow state, or how do you handle things that come up when they seem difficult, or just like how do you center yourself after all that, or how do you even keep up with how fast things are happening in real life for you at some point? That's the thing too, where it's like you get so good at this creation process in this new way, and then like everything's happening in your life, and you're like, like it sometimes be like, oh my God, so much goodness is happening at once. Like, how do I just allow all that in and like be able to ground that in and to like keep that sustainable and to realize that I'm so worthy of it. So it all plays into it. Shaylin. um, hey Samir, Felipe, Judy.
Thank
Um,
you.
thanks guys for joining us.
Yeah, thank you so much. If you're
So
interested in like if you have something that you want to create or you have no idea but you're like, ooh, sounds interesting and you want to start having a vision of something that you possibly want to create. We have the creation process group, so I'll post it in the thread below and come on and we have our Thursdays at noon Pacific time, free live calls as well. So sending you guys lots of love. Thank you for joining.